Well, one of the sessions here at CattleCon 25 in San Antonio, Texas was Partners in Profitability, the Value of U.S. Exports. And joining us is one of the presenters, Colorado farmer and National Corn Growers Association board member, Troy Schneider. Let's dive right into it. Give us the meat and potatoes of your presentation.
Well, we just talked to the audience about the important fact of why exports mean so much to us. So one out of every 4 bushels of corn is raised for export when it comes to exports in protein. So when we sit there, you look at the national corn crop, we talk trade, 13 to 17% of our national corn crop is traded. But when that is added in the belly of cattle and hogs and in chicken, it grows exponentially. When we get those exports going across the border with our friends from the United States Meat Export Federation. And when you consider that 95% of the world's population lives outside of our borders, that's where we're going to grow our plate at, if so to speak. That's where we're going to feed everybody at. And that is why it is so important for us to partner with the United States Meat Export Federation, along with the United States U.S. Grains Export Council, as to how do we push our product across the seas. And they can't, those two organizations can't lobby, but NCBA and NCGA can work on their behalf to make sure that they have their funding from Washington, D.C. to get those products across the sea.
Well, bottom line too, Troy, when we're talking about these partners in profitability, not only are we creating delicious protein for our friends around the world, but we're also creating more value for those livestock we're raising right here at home.
Yes. You look at the dollars that we add back, the dollar per head that exports add, and then the cents per bushel that it brings back to us on the corn crop is invaluable. But the other thing about it is I pull into 4M feeders in Stratton, Colorado, and I unload a load of corn, and I'm excited because we're creating jobs here in the United States that exports a product. You take it back home to Colorado. For me, our largest export of any product is beef in the state of Colorado. By far, it outweighs anything else we move across the border. And our number one customer is Canada. So we have to have our beef checkoff and our corn checkoff, not lobbying necessarily, but educating back in Washington, D.C. as to why it is so important that we have fair and free trade.
And lastly, it just seems as the years go by, these relationships keep getting stronger and stronger, which is good for both producers and consumers.
It is. And I want to just thank the National Cattlemen's Beef Association for inviting us here. This is my 5th year in a row that I've attended CattleCon, and it is a relationship that, it's pretty easy to fund somebody when they come to you with such great ideas as to how do we make our two products better. So with that, I just wanted to give the NCBA a huge shout out. It's been a pleasure working with them over the last few years.
Absolutely. Again, we've been talking about Partners in Profitability, the Value of U.S. Exports with Colorado farmer and National Corn Growers Association board member Troy Schneider. Bottom line, just another great example about the value of those exports to America's farmers and ranchers.